Hi everyone, Emily Teacher here, and today we're going to read Bigfoot, Fact or Fantasy. When European explorers returned from Asia and Africa in the Middle Ages, they reported having seen 12-foot lizards with huge jaws that could eat a whole person. Most people who heard these stories were incredulous and accused travelers of lying. The stories seemed preposterous to them. At that time, hardly anyone in Europe had ever seen a crocodile. For centuries, travelers have been ridiculed for their reports of exotic creatures seen in distant lands. But the Komodo dragon of Indonesia, the giant panda of western China, and the mountain gorilla of Ethiopia, to mention just three that were dismissed at one time as imaginary, really do exist. So we're discussing animals in the past that people thought were not real, but it turned out they were. So let's read more about another possible animal that may be out there. More recently, there have been stories of Bigfoot, the legendary ape-like creature of American Northwest. The Bigfoot's counterpart is said to live just below the snow line in the Himalayan mountains of Asia. It is the Yeti, also known as the abominable snowman. Alleged sightings and even photographs of both creatures make news periodically. Plaster casts have supposedly been made of their footprints. But the photographers are never sharp. The plaster casts could well be fakes, and the claims of those who say they have seen Bigfoot are not very plausible. Scientists have been scrupulous in their examination of the evidence. Their view is that it is not conclusive. Most remain unconvinced that Bigfoot and the Yeti actually exist. So here we have two creatures, right? Bigfoot in the American Northwest and the Yeti, or abominable snowman, in the Himalayan mountains in Asia. Many people say that they have seen these creatures, they've taken photos, they've made casts of their footprints, but this information is things that cannot be proved. So scientists have tried to find out if it could be real, but it's not conclusive. They're not really sure. Most people believe that the Bigfoot and the Yeti are just imaginary creatures that don't exist. In spite of the scientists' findings, some people feel the need to believe that such creatures do exist. Such people are enthralled by the mysterious. They would like to think that somewhere deep in the forest, Bigfoot is lurking. They imagine that high in the Himalayas, a team of mountaineers is about to come upon the Yeti. Supermarket tabloids pander to these people. They print headlines such as, "Bigfoot stole my baby," or "Yeti attacks climbers on Mount Everest." Of course, only the most naive people believe such stories. Given our dismal record of dealing with wild creatures, it would probably be best for Bigfoot and the Yeti, if they indeed are real, to remain undiscovered. What would we do with them if we captured them? Such creatures do not belong in a menagerie to be peered at and photographed by sightseers. Such is the fate of the giant panda, the Komodo dragon, and the mountain gorilla. Bigfoot and the Yeti are probably best left where they are now, creatures of our imagination, along with unicorns, fire-breathing dragons, and mermaids. So even though we think the Bigfoot and the Yeti are not real, many people want to believe they're real. They think it's exciting, right? They like to think about the Bigfoot or the Yeti and things they might be doing. So here it talks about supermarket tabloids. These are maybe the magazines you see when you go to buy groceries. They'll have these catchy things on the front. "Bigfoot stole my baby," right? To make you excited and want to read their magazine. But it says most naive people believe such stories. So people who just want to believe in fun things and don't want facts usually like these things. But it says we have a dismal record of dealing with creatures, right? So with the Komodo dragon, the mountain gorilla, the giant panda, when people found out they were real, they put them in zoos, right? For people to take pictures and just have fun looking at, right? But animals belong in the wild. So even if the Yeti or the abominable snowman do exist, then they probably just deserve to stay in the place where they belong, in nature. Thank you for reading with me today. We do have links related to each article. If you want the link for this story, you can find it down in the description below.